It is the Riot Podcast, and boy, are we ready for the weekend.
We are practically halfway out the door as we do this.
So, stuff you're going to hear about today, a little bit about our trip to the fair and what we ate. Well, we didn't talk about your turkey leg at all.
Save it for Monday. Monday, then. It'll still be good.
Okay.
It literally will be. It's still in my fridge.
Okay.
So put a note for Monday. I will mention if you want to watch our Insta story from us being at the Ohio State Fair, including said turkey leg and what did Obadiah get. I posted that on our RadioU Riot YouTube channel. I made an Insta story playlist. So let me know if you like something as fun and simple as that. But it's up there if you want to watch it too. So leave a little comment and say, hey, Nikki, I like this. That exact comment.
To say that exactly.
Please.
You can add after it, but that needs to be the first thing.
That needs to be the starting part. So that's at RadioU Riot on YouTube, and it's going to be up on our RadioU Riot Facebook page. You'll see a link to the YouTube video, too.
Other things in the podcast, smart air conditioners. We talk about Mission Impossible and how it's killing it, apparently. There's a new movie on Netflix you could watch this weekend that people are saying is not killing it. But if you have Netflix, whatever. We get into Nikki's garage sale. We talk to Shonlock.
Yeah, Shonlock. That interview is also, again, posted at RadioU Riot on Facebook and YouTube.
All right. Well, hey, you guys enjoy this podcast. Have a fantastic weekend. And that's all I got.
Bye.
Bye.
Cleveland celebrates failure with a parade. We celebrate failure with the worst of the riots.
Okay, let's talk about yesterday's trip to the Ohio State Fair.
We go once a year to the State Fair.
We do.
And we look forward to it because, it's lots of fun hanging out with you guys. We get to meet a lot of you. And then we get to eat, a couple of fair items.
So I'll have to say that my fair item yesterday was completely derailed. I was on my way to get lunch and some deep fried Buckeyes, which is a peanut butter ball dipped in chocolate, dipped in batter, then deep fried, then covered in powdered sugar and chocolate sauce.
I mean, of course it is.
And I was on my way to get that when I heard, oh, no! And it was my friend Buffy.
Yeah.
And she is working for / running, being a part of a food thing there. And I will tell you, it's inside the Cardinal Gate on the right-hand side if you go down a little ways. But they made something I've never had before, and that was a funnel cake sundae.
Now, we've had a mini of funnel cakes and a mini of sundaes.
But I've never had them together.
Never combining it.
It makes perfect sense because a funnel cake is kind of like a waffle.
Kinda,
like
yeah.
a waffle cone-ish thing. And so I had a freshly made funnel cake. And then they put ice cream on top, whipped cream on top, and then...
Did it have powdered sugar, too?
Powdered sugar, a peanut butter sauce, a chocolate sauce, and a marshmallow sauce.
And I saw one of them. There was a cherry.
Oh, there was a cherry. Did you eat the cherry?
I didn't, but I saw it. Did
It's
you
weird,
eat the
'cause
cherry?
I don't remember eating the cherry.
You must have eaten the cherry.
I was just...
You ate that rather quickly.
But what's funny is that I'm there eating my funnel cake sundae, and my plan was I was out for food, and then I was like, yeah, and then I'll get my snack, whatever, fair food. I brought the funnel cake sundae back to our booth. I ate the whole thing.
In a minute.
I inhaled it. I was, in fairness, I was very hungry. I never imagined I would eat the whole thing, but I was like...
You were hungry for your actual food.
Right.
And so your body didn't know. Your body's like, oh, we're eating now.
This is wonderful.
We're going to eat this right now.
It's so warm and sweet.
But then you didn't have any of your deep-fried peanut butter
Buckeyes.
Buckeyes.
I did not get a deep-fried Buckeye. I can't believe it. Now, one of the thoughts I had was that in my hometown, they'll do their, street fair thing in, I don't know, it's 2 or 3 weeks. And I do know that there is a deep-fried Buckeye stand
So you can get one then.
So I figure, you know what? I missed it. I'm going to get it. It's going to be okay. But, man, I will say, even that being said, I had the bourbon chicken yesterday, which I said I wasn't going to do. I was fine.
You're fine.
I was expecting to go home and get sick or whatever.
Well, that funnel cake coated your stomach.
I was rock solid.
Fine.
I was just sitting around man, this is great. And with my flat tire, I ended up having Wendy's for dinner. So, I mean...
You're just fine.
It's whatever.
Your stomach today might be the better one to check in on.
Oh, no. He's fine.
You could cope yesterday because you had all that stuff.
Well, I wasn't trying to, but dang, dude, fair food's so good. There were so many things I passed up I wanted. I almost got a corn dog, and I ended up, getting the bourbon chicken. But that's the other thing I feel like I missed out on is a good hand-dipped, fresh deep-fried corn dog.
Well, Derek just texted. He said the deep-fried Buckeyes are amazing, and he had a Boston cream funnel cake, and that was heavenly to him.
That sounds good.
Derek, good call on that.
That sounds good. Now I'm getting hungry.
I know, you're getting hungry again for fair food.
Actually, last night, there must be something in the fair food because I went home, we had, that was a huge lunch, and then I ended up having Wendy's for dinner, and I could have, and I kid you not, eaten all night.
You were just buzzing
I was just like, I'm so hungry, I'm so hungry, I'm so hungry. I don't know what they put in that food, but just be careful.
Waking up with the Riot makes your nightmares not seem so bad. Actually, you might want to just go back to sleep. RadioU.
Okay. You're at work, you're getting sleepy. I feel like this would go for a classroom, too, because, man, I've tried to make the 8 o'clock class work for me. I know some people have 7:30 classes, and, man, I've gone and done it all. Drank a pot of coffee, and that professor starts talking, and it's like, oh my gosh.
Really depends on the style of the class. Sometimes also you can make it, and sometimes you cannot. Same thing with if you're working, the style of your boss or your work environment.
Yep, come on.
Can you sleep or not sleep or stay awake?
Okay, so here's my question for you. Well, no, this is not a question. I just remembered me asking a question because I fell asleep in class. That's true. That happened. I was in FCC 133 in that class. Sorry, I really was in the middle of a memory. So let's get into this. The people in Japan, an air conditioning manufacturer called Daikin, they've teamed up with a company called NEC, which they make a lot of electronics, and they've got this. They have set up this camera system that keeps track of your eyelid movement.
Really?
In
at
a
work?
room.
Oh, this seems a bit much.
And then if they start to notice that people are getting seepy,
if your eyelids are drooping or something,
guess what they do?
Does it shock you?
Turns the air conditioning down.
So it gets colder? That's on them then. I'll sleep better when it's colder.
That's what I was thinking.
That's the wrong way.
That's exactly what I was thinking. I was like, man, if you're telling me that you're going to turn the air down if I get sleepy.
Wrong.
Weirdly enough, I've got a sweatshirt right here, and I got a blanket in my office.
We're
I'm
prepared.
Ready.
We can totally do
ready.
that. Besides, it would take too long for the air conditioning to turn down enough to actually really start affecting me. That's not instant enough.
Maybe not.
How funny.
Maybe not. Maybe it sends a signal, and right away, the temperature drops 2 degrees. What if there were special air conditioners above everyone's desk, and then it just cooled down where you sit?
You were sitting at? Yeah, I'd have to see the setup to know, is that really effective or not?
See, because I'll tell you what, if you come down to, my office is like a jack of all trades office, and if you shut the door in my office, it turns into like a sauna in there. Mold's growing on the wall. And it only takes 20 minutes because it's so humid.
No, things fogging up.
But if I open the door, everybody complains about how loud I am, and so I'm just like, shut the door.
It's really hard on you.
Well, now let's...
No, in a real way. It's just the room, it's just hard to get it right.
It is hard to get it right. So if you're telling me that my droopy eyes are going to turn the air on, it would be a refrigerator in here.
Why is he sleeping all the time? It is so nice when I fall asleep.
You don't even know.
They turn the air down.
I go to work, fall asleep, the air comes down. I slept for 8 hours yesterday.
Oh, the Japanese company just needs to realize, I don't know if it's just a difference of the work environment here or how we've coped with the air turning down before, but that sounds wonderful.
So they... are saying that it will be available commercially in 2020. So it's just in the experimental stages now. But this company, both NEC and Daikin, they're claiming that one of the best ways to keep workers awake is to turn the air down. That's a bummer.
I just don't believe it.
Boy, don't you just feel
this is like a bonus. Here comes the robot. You're like, oh my gosh, I get air conditioning. Yay.
Depending on where you live.
Yeah, it's different.
They're like, really? This is your punishment?
How some people get extra cold, though, and so they always complain, at work.
Yeah.
It's just too low, and so that's uncomfortable.
One of my roommates, they should just, I don't know, move to the tropics. Where you're just look, it could be 150.
Even that would be cold.
150 degrees. You wouldn't be happy with it. And I'm over here can we just turn it down to 65?
Please.
Can we get an industrial strength air conditioner? I'm getting a window air conditioner.
Once again, there just wasn't enough material for Best of the Riot. Actually, there wasn't any Best of the Riot at all. None. Zero. Look, it's all bad. That's what I'm trying to say. It's not bad. It's the worst. Radio U.
Okay, so yesterday, EA gave some details. That's Electronic Arts, their video game company. They make the Battlefield games, FIFA, Madden, just to give you some perspective. They've got a little thing they run right now, and they don't like me calling it little.
Wow.
They have a thing they run right now called EA's Origin Access.
Every time you do like a mobile game, you log into Origin.
Or you
Is
do
that the
log
same?
into Origin.
Yeah.
So Access is something with Origin that you pay, and you can do it on the Xbox. You can do it on the PC, but you can't do it on the PlayStation 4. But what you can do is you pay $5 a month, and you get access to the Vault. And so it's a bunch of different games from them, and there actually are a lot of games in there. And you pay $5, you can download and play any game in there, and when you're done, it's $5 a month. Then you just go ahead and cancel it, but you can't play those games anymore.
Oh, it just ends with it.
So it is that whole Netflix for games thing.
But if they're older games or, ones that you've played for some time, if they go away, it might not be too bad. Mm-hmm. Obviously, they want you to stick around with them each month.
So here's what's going to happen now. They just announced, and I think you might actually be able to pay for it. When's it launch? Does it launch now? I'm not sure, but you can take a look at it. I think it might launch with Madden. But if you go to Origin Access Premier, instead of $5 a month, you'll pay $15 a month.
And
their new games, you can play those.
Well, that's good. I mean, if the lineup is something that's attractive.
Well, the thing that's interesting is okay, for me, and I got the same question coming up in October. Microsoft runs a game service like this for $10 a month. You get 100 games, and anything that's a Microsoft published game, they put brand new, they put it in there, and you can play it. And so, coming up in October, Forza Horizon 4 comes out. I really, really want that game.
Yeah.
So do I pay $10 a month for 2 months and just play it for a couple months and be done? Or do I buy the game and forget the subscription service? Well, in February of next year, EA will launch Anthem, which is a game that I really, 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 really want to play. So do I just plop down $15 for a month of this, play Anthem for a month, and then
they give it a long rental with it?
A long-term rental, and then you're done.
I mean, you don't do much. You don't do anything with the games digitally, if you're getting it not a physical copy, so it's not like you can sell it back anywhere.
That's true.
So renting it is almost better if you're not going to go back to it.
I think I might. This might be my thing. I think I might do this.
Time to utilize the other games.
Because the thing that I have noticed is that with a couple of exceptions, most games, what do? I play it for a month.
And if that, and then you drop it.
And then I'm done with it.
But you spent all that money on it.
Of course, the funny thing is the one great exception in all the games that I have that I continue to play, even now 2 years later, is Forza Horizon 3. Oh, it's so good. So I don't know.
These are the big questions. He doesn't know what to do.
I don't know what I'm going to do there, but this is cool. $15 a month. So when Madden comes out, you could drop $15 a month. And again, you got to pay it every month. But if you only want to play it for a little while.
So my question is, I just don't know the answer.
Okay.
If you played it and you had it, but then you decided to drop the service and you said it goes away.
Yeah.
Does your information with the game stay if you come back? Okay, so you keep your save.
Yeah. And that includes Battlefield 5, which comes out in, I think, October, and then FIFA and Anthem. So I don't know. They might have something here, Nikki.
Some have said that if you just keep listening to The Riot, you'll learn to love them. Has that really worked for anybody yet? Has anyone tested that? It's The Riot on Radio U.
I'm at Rotten Tomatoes right now.
Yeah.
Taking a look at some movies. First off, I keep hearing that Teen Titans Go is hysterical.
Really? Is it out today too, or is it coming?
Yes. It's called Teen Titans Go to the Movies. And everything I've read and people I've talked to, they're just this is fantastic.
Sure.
It's so funny and et cetera, et cetera. I don't know. I don't watch Teen Titans Go, but all of the hype surrounding the movie is well.
I used to watch it when I would watch, what was the show, The Adventures of Gumball?
Yeah?
Yeah, I used to watch that.
Okay.
So.
Well, there's that. And then, of course, the big one is Mission Impossible Fallout opens today. Ooh. Now, let's keep in mind that Mission Impossible Fallout is out now.
Yeah.
So there's no embargoes. Nobody's holding back their reviews, whatever. What do you think its Rotten Tomatoes score is right now?
Well, I knew going into it was actually really high, but that wasn't fair because it wasn't out for people
everybody yet.
to. Yeah, so you had a lot of critics' reviews, or just like early screenings. So it tends to go down rather sharply.
It does?
Usually on its day.
Nikki ain't lying.
But I thought it was at like 94 or 92%.
Its score has gone up.
Really? Oh, I can't wait to see it.
That never happens.
Never does.
Honestly, I don't think I've ever seen a Rotten Tomatoes score go up. I only ever see it go down. Their scores always start high because only a few press members see it. And then it goes, like, as more people pile in, it goes down, down, down.
But it's not just pile in, it's pile on.
Mission Impossible Fallout is now at 98%.
I can't wait. We're going on Tuesday.
We are going on Tuesday.
We are being responsible moviegoers and going on a $5 day.
Admittedly, like, it's hard to wait a couple of days, but I'll have to say that when Nikki and I realized that for the price of one of us, that four of us could go to the movies, it was like, well,
we'll just wait until then. But I'm super excited to see it. For Mission Impossible, it's weird. I never liked, I mean, they were good at the time, but the first couple of ones, I felt like, if you go back, they're just not my favorite.
I have gone back. Mission Impossible 1 is so weird. It's directed by Brian De Palma, and there are times when it feels like a European indie film from the 70s. Really? It is such a weird movie.
Yes.
Mission Impossible 2 is just terrible.
Yes, that one falls in that.
John Woo, man. John Woo. And you want him to kill it, and he kills it, but in a bad way.
In a bad way. But later on, then they just started to get better. It's one of the only franchises where I feel like it's improved greatly.
J.J. Abrams brought it back with Mission Impossible 3. Mm-hmm. And that's how he got the job directing Star Trek, it was like, hey, this guy gets genre films. Like, he's able to take these films and boil them down. And Mission Impossible 3, you've got, not only is J.J. Abrams directing, but... help me out. The bad guy, he died a couple years ago. Philip Seymour Hoffman.
Yes.
Oh, he is a terrifying villain. It is so intense. Mission Impossible 4 I didn't like as much, but man,
it's still good.
Rogue Nation, Mission Impossible 5 is one of my favorite movies of all time.
Sure.
Like, literally, of all time. So this is the follow-up to that. I am genuinely excited.
And now it's at 98? That's impressive.
Come on,
that's
98%.
Very impressive. All right, well, that was our movie talk.
I also saw somebody make a chart the other day that shows definitively that the more Tom Cruise runs in a movie, the more critically acclaimed it is.
The better it gets. There could be something to that.
There might be.
Want to know what the Riot is doing right now? Follow them on Instagram and Twitter at riot.radiou.com. It's the worst of the Riot on RadioU.
Of course, earlier in the show, we were talking about Mission Impossible 6, Mission Impossible Fallout, which everybody be talking about today. It's at 98% on Rotten Tomatoes, which is crazy. But maybe you don't want to go to the movies this weekend, but you still want to have that feeling where you're just like, I've never seen this, so I'm watching it. And you've got
Netflix. What is that feeling? Okay. I didn't know that's what we do when we go to the movies.
That's what I do.
You sit down and you relax, you mean, and you kind of decompress. Okay, yeah, I guess that is the sound for that. Okay, that was honest. That was an honest, different sounding one.
Put the recliner feet out. Okay, I'm good. Okay.
Which is why we only go to the movie theater with the recliners. We can't do anything else anymore.
I think I have to go to the bathroom one more time before the movie starts. Don't drink any soda. Don't drink any more. Stay focused on the movie.
What can we do instead of that?
This weekend, Netflix has got another big spendy movie that they picked up and they released today. I watched the trailer for it 2 weeks ago, I think, and then have completely forgotten about it. But it is on Netflix today. Of course, it's free, quote unquote, with your subscription if you're a Netflix subscriber. And Nikki and I feel like everyone is, even though not everyone is.
You're just using someone else's. Right. So you're still a member if you put your quotes up.
So it's called Extinction. And it's some kind of a...
Which one's that?
It's like an alien invasion something. Michael Pena and Lizzie Kaplan are the leads. And it's written by the guy who wrote The Arrival. And everyone is saying that it is shocking that the guy who wrote The Arrival wrote something this bad.
Really? Well,
But-
maybe it was one of his earlier writings.
It could have been, and I've just been reading up on it here. But they say that Michael Pena is actually really good in it. I think he's funny. Like I like him in other stuff.
Yeah,
So
I don't think I've seen anything on this one. They spent so much time pushing the other guy with the end of the world. He's got to go save his daughter with his her boyfriend or something like that. What was that one? Anybody know? No.
Wait, would that be another Skyline or something
from a few weeks ago? Like I got that pushed all the time.
I don't know what I don't think I know what that is though.
Okay, well I've not seen this new one.
Okay, well this one is Michael Pena plays a guy who he has like visions of the future or something, but he thinks he's just having nightmares.
Yeah.
But then he figures out that they're visions and he remembers things from his visions, and so he's like, hey, I know what to do. I know how to get us out of here. And so it's that. Now, I've only read one review of it. The one thing they said is they felt like a movie like this on the big screen, you might have been a little more forgiving.
Sure.
But watching at home, you're less forgiving.
It's true.
You know what, though? I'm not so sure because, look at me with the Cloverfield paradox. I went home. I was excited to watch it. I watched it. And when I got done, I was like, it was all right.
Well, you're still forgiving, but, I mean, you're not, paying extra above and beyond what you're already paying.
No, you're misunderstanding what I'm saying. They're saying that if you saw this in a theater,
you'd be more forgiving then.
You'd be more forgiving then than watching it at home. And I'm like, man, I don't think so. When Netflix just throws something at me, I feel like I'm going, bah.
Doesn't matter, does it?
Why not?
So How It Ends is the one that I was mentioning with Forrest Whitaker. But I've not seen the new one you just mentioned.
Well, Jerome just texted and said it's called How It Ends, and he watched it and liked it. So, man,
and this is Extinction?
There's so much crap on Netflix I haven't watched.
That is true.
What
is this one, though?
Extinction. I think I'm going to watch this weekend, which we know is a lie. But I mean to. I think I will.
Intentions.
I don't know. I watched the Cloverfield paradox that one time.
That can't be the only thing you reference. That's the only thing you've referenced so far with it.
That was in April. That was only 3 months ago. Well, it's the only time that they've dropped a movie that I wanted to watch.
The Super Bowl, wasn't it, that one?
Yeah.
So it was
March. Whatever.
The Riot is now accepting applications for a staff pastry chef. Please drop your resumes and an example of your work at the studio door, and we'll get back to you. Wink, wink. The Riot on RadioU.
So this plastic straw thing is getting real. People are getting real intense about it. Did you see this? That Disney is now they're going to ban. Everybody hates.
Hey, if anybody's going to ban, it's going to be Disney.
If anything I'm terrified of in this world, it's a ban.
Oh, my gosh.
Please don't ban me.
Why are we doing this?
Disney is going to ban plastic straws in all exceptions except their Tokyo location.
I wonder what the difference is there.
I don't know why. But they say by
Tokyo's not having any of that.
By 2019, with the hope of cutting out 175 million straws a year. Mm-hmm.
So Starbucks has said stuff. I think McDonald's UK. I'm not sure about America yet, but it has become extremely popular for companies to say that they're doing away with straws and to provide alternative cups. Which is why, if you go to Starbucks and get the sippy cup, that's an alternative.
I would like to have. Well, I mean, do we all just start, someone sent us metal straws?
Yeah, to start using those instead.
I don't
use straws a whole lot. I have a reusable one over there. I have a plastic straw.
Do you know something weird? I do at home.
You do?
Out of, when I drink water, a lot of times I will fill a huge cup. I've got those, leftover theater cups. They're what are they, 45 ounces or 44
or something? You're the straw user.
And I will, it's not like I use them a lot. I use them for that and for my apple cider vinegar, of course.
Because it'll mess your teeth up, so.
So, I don't know. I probably use 4 or 5 straws a week.
A lot
over
of people
the course
drink their coffee with straw just so it doesn't discolor your teeth and stuff.
I've thought about that, but I just don't want to do that.
Okay, all right, that's fine.
I probably should. My teeth are probably yellow smoker teeth, but with all this coffee. But
everybody's teeth are yellow from coffee, so I guess it's fine. I did read a very interesting article about for those who might be disabled, plastic straws are sometimes the only option.
They need them.
For them, and how it really is a disservice to do a blanket statement of like, fine, no more straws forever,
okay. That's
where
interesting.
they cannot use reusable straws. And I was like, well, why can't you use a reusable straw?
It won't bend correctly, maybe?
It won't bend, but also for cleaning, because then they're not able to clean the straws too, and then you can have bacteria. So it was a big breakdown of like why someone can and could not have a plastic straw. So I think companies might realize maybe you leave a few. You're just not providing a bunch of them for everybody.
I don't know. It's interesting. The other thing you have to ask yourself is, you guys know we went to plastic straws for a reason. Like, there was a reason. I don't know what it was, if it was hygiene or like whatever.
I wonder why.
But
when have straws been around since?
I don't know. But whatever. Like, this is just one of those things. I say the same thing I said about the metal straws that we got, which I thought were super cool. This is the kind of stuff that doesn't occur to me. I'm glad it's occurring to somebody somewhere in the world, because in my mind, I'm just like throwing trash out the window. Just
not
whatever.
literally. He's not really doing that.
He's not literally littering. But I just don't. Those are the kinds of things I don't typically think about. So,
Sure.
Cool.
I think it's good if you're in the position and you are drinking something like each day and you've got cups that don't need plastic straws. Well, great. Go ahead and switch over to that. But for those that might need it for some reason that we don't understand, then you still have a couple.
Mm-hmm. So
That's it?
Good luck.
That's it.
At
okay.
Disney.
That's all we got.
Good luck. I don't know what else.
Does this mean the price goes down at Disney?
Absolutely, Nikki. They're going to be saving so much money that they're going to pass that savings directly onto you.
That's what I thought. I bet the ticket prices will go down and not up for any reason.
Probably only $180 a day now to go to Disney.
We need to pay more.
It's the radio equivalent of going to McDonald's and ordering a fish fillet. Hey, that's one of my favorite things from Mickey D's. The worst of the riot on RadioU.
Nikki, you just reminded me that you're doing a garage sale tomorrow.
I am. I haven't done one in a couple of years, but I used to love doing garage sales. Not going and like buying stuff at it, but selling stuff at a garage sale.
You guys should hunt Nikki down, come to her garage sale, and then buy a bunch of her stuff and then put it on eBay as Nikki from RadioU's.
Please don't do that. Don't do that.
Please do that.
Please don't do that.
Everybody do that tomorrow.
Listen to me, not what he's saying. Don't do that. No.
Make it awkward.
Don't make it awkward and don't do that. Don't come.
Show up and be like,
Stop
hey,
it.
You're Nikki from RadioU.
Stop.
Like, does that mean you've won this shirt? I'll take this one.
Please, and now we're weird.
Did you eat out of this bowl?
No, and now I had 3 bowls I was selling. Stop it.
Did that mouth touch this glass?
Oh, come on. Don't. No, I don't like that.
Hey,
You're not supposed to know.
Garage sale's canceled tomorrow.
I know. No, I can't. I can't go through with it.
Can't have anything anymore. And this was the moment when Nikki became a hoarder.
I couldn't go out anymore. I was afraid, and now I can't get rid of this stuff. I don't know what to do.
It was July 27th.
You know, they always say that there's a moment that happens.
There's an emotional something.
Every time I watch the hoarding show.
Hey, speaking of hoarding, Rachel in Texas, she texted us about this straw thing. She says, how am I supposed to drink my Frappuccino with tons of whipped cream without a straw?
Well, we were mentioning Disney has now stepped up and said they're going to do away with straws over time.
Right, which, hang on, the way this connects is this could be your moment when all of a sudden you find out Disney's not stocking straws and you're like, that's it, I can't throw my straws away anymore. I have to save all my straws. They're not going to have any straws anymore.
You're washing them at home while you're reusing. That's all we ask.
Nikki can't throw her straws away anymore because she's afraid someone's taking them and kissing her straws.
Oh, stop making it weird. Wrong.
It's almost like being with her straw. I found her at Bibby Bop the other day.
I kind of hate you right now.
I just took it.
Stop it. That's really weird.
This fork
Rachel,
was in her mouth.
I was mentioning that's why they started trying to do the cookie straws. They were hoping that instead of reusable straws, can't we just eat our straws? Make them go back to the cookie straws or some other edible thing that maybe isn't as high calorie as the cookie straw.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So could be an option there, too.
The cookie straw. So now your Frappuccino is 2,500 calories.
Way much more.
No big deal.
You're like, well, I had, you try to drink all the water, too. Like they tell you to drink in a day. They're like, why did you have so many calories? Like, well, I use my cookie straws with the water, and I have to drink a lot.
Ever wonder what Nikki is doing when she isn't rioting? Find her Twitter feed at riot.radiou.com. Obadiah's is there too, but who cares what he's doing?
I'm really excited to get a chance to talk to this guy, Mr. Shonlock. Good morning, sir.
What's cracking, good people?
How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. A little early, you know what I mean? But,
that's okay. Well, we appreciate you getting up. Today's a big day for Shonlock. The song Lullaby starts in a full-time rotation on RadioU. So today you have a chance to request it and hear it anytime you would like to.
That's what's up, man. Thank you guys so much for bringing it on.
You're welcome.
Dude, I got to say, like, if you guys are not watching, you can actually see this on our YouTube channel or check us out live on Facebook right now. But, dude, right there in the background, I see 3 gold records.
So, yes, that's a nice placement in the background. We don't have any of those behind us, so we don't have any of that.
Oh, man, that was, courtesy of my man, Mr. Toby Mack, working with him so many years and writing and doing all kind of stuff with him. I was blessed to be able to get a couple of those.
Well, as Nikki said, that's 3 more than we currently have. But our careers are not over.
In the background, though, I feel like maybe for future interviews or if you want to add more to your collection, they're in the background enough to where you could go to like Hobby Lobby or a craft store and you can make your own and just put them back there. No, like if you do a good enough job with it, it's fine. They'll be like, yeah, that's gold. That's back
decoration.
there.
It's fine. Whatever.
But he has the real deal.
Actually, it's 4, just so you know.
Just want to be clear about that, right?
4 gold albums behind him. Okay, we are corrected.
All right, I switched the camera. Now we can see them all. Okay.
Good call on that, Shonlock.
Okay, then I got to ask, since I'm just peeping your background here, what's that football in the background then?
Is that also a gold football?
Man, Ben Roethlisberger signed that for us.
That's pretty cool, dude, right?
Yeah, so I don't know. I'm waiting. I'm going to sell it as soon as I can.
Hey, dude, I don't feel bad. Cool, I would totally do that.
He has a plan. That's good.
I would totally do. That's his retirement plan under glass right back there.
Later.
Who knows, man? Who knows?
So, Shonlock, we've been playing your music for a while, but for those who aren't familiar with you, give us some of your backstory. Where did you get started? How did you get to this point?
Man, I started off as a choreographer, man, doing, different routines and things like that for other artists. And in high school, I was selected to tour with R. Kelly and Aaliyah. Well, it was really for Aaliyah because R. Kelly was managing her or whatever. Sure. I was one of the guys who created some of the choreography for her. And then after I stopped doing that, I ran into one of the guys that was managing Grits. And so he told me about this hip-hop group. He didn't tell me it was like a Christian group.
Sure.
Okay. I
want you to come out and work with. So I ran out. I was like, yeah, I'll do it, And then when I met them, I learned really quick that it was a different kind of hip-hop group. And during my time with them and No to Verbs, another guy, they presented the gospel to me. I got saved. And that's how I kind of got into the Toby Mack's circle because they were all signed to Toby's record labels. And then, Toby saw the work that I was doing with his groups because I worked with everybody that was signed to Go T Records. And then, once he decided he was going to go from DC Talk to Toby Mack, he started to do the extreme stuff. And so at the time, Grits was dancing for him. And I did the choreography for Grits to dance for DC Talk. He liked what I was doing. And then he was like, all right, I'm going solo. I need you to come out with me. And then he was like, the first dates are in Jamaica. Can you make it? And he really buttered it up.
Yeah, sure.
Over 100 dates. And so I was like, yeah, and that's how it kind of happened. And after that, I started selling CDs out of my backpack. And that went really well. And
that led to the 4 gold ones behind you. So, yes.
Exactly.
And the football.
Exactly. Yeah.
So fast forward to now, you're out, you're doing your own thing these days. Like, obviously, the hip hop scene has been good to you.
This is Shonlock, which Lullaby starts. We'll play that in a second. And that starts today.
Oh, yeah.
So tell us about Lullaby. You made that with Soul Glow Activator. Is that right?
Yeah, man. Me and Soul Glow, man, we make some really good music together. One of the, we're speaking on Lullaby. We'll stay here. But Lullaby was created. It was a song that I was going to do at first to a whole different track. And so we happened to get into the studio, and I had a whole nother track ready to do it. And, I'm singing the lyrics to it. And he was like, no, man, let's not do it like that. Let's do it like this kind of beat. He like switched the whole beat. Now, the funny thing about this is, I know some of you guys might know Family Force 5, of course.
Yeah, that was Soul Glow he used to be the
lead singer of Family Force
5. Yeah.
Yeah, so he moved to Nashville, but I still live in Georgia. And so we used to hang out a lot when we were in Georgia. So when he visited, we recorded the song in the merch room for Family Force 5.
Really?
Nice, dude. Nice.
Yeah. So we had a mic set up, and there's like crates of T-shirts all around us. And, you got the green gloves and all kind of crazy stuff.
All the stuff, all the history of Family Force 5. That's awesome.
All of it. Yeah, so that's where the song was created. But the heart of the song, man, is really it's about about living out your dreams. You know what I mean? Like going after the things that God has put in your heart, being passionate about it, and having a boldness about yourself. Because once you accepted Christ and you know that your eternity is secure, I mean, that's you. I mean, you can go reckless then, you know what I mean? Like, for God, not just like living out, you know what I mean?
Sure. We got you.
So, so that's what the song it's about. It's about like going after it, going hard, being passionate about, what God has called you to do, man. And it's like, if I happen to not make it, I know my eternity is secure. So
we love the song. We were super excited about it. It was on the Battle of the Buzz.
It was. It did well.
And now it's the chance for, again, everybody to start requesting it and hearing it. And, again, showing some love to Shonlock. Send some love his way.
Come on. Hey, one thing I want to say, I've been seeing RadioU for a long time. And so I really appreciate you guys, because you guys were in the forefront of playing music that wasn't like on the traditional, CCM, charts and stuff like that. And so it's been a long time. I mean, I remember from way back
back in the day.
Back in the day, GMA, at the Renaissance Hotel.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. So big shout out to you guys for continuing to doing your thing, man, and providing a platform for artists that, have a different kind of, angle on their passion. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, right on. Well, you know what? You are welcome,
Happy to
sir.
do it.
Thank you for making music to let us do what we do. We're really glad you're there.
It's teamwork. It's a team effort. It's a team effort.
We're a team.
Send your complaints regarding that worst of the riot moment to Fire Obadiah at RadioU.com.
This is how you're going to show everybody how awesome you are on National Guacamole Day.
Well, I don't know. I'm a little worried. Remember how everybody went crazy on Build-A-Bear Day? I'm just a little nervous about days.
Actually,
when these companies do these things, because you're not getting anything.
That is a completely fair question.
Yeah, just
or
to
I
worry.
guess concern there, because Nikki went for Build-A-Bear Day because she thought it'd be cute.
Well, I just actually drove by to see, too, and that's when I noticed the road closure and the mass amount of people that, not just in our area, but around the country, went crazy over that thing.
The sad part is nothing's worth anything. But
I
we don't have to talk
know. You're
about
doing
it.
all that for $5 off.
Okay, well, all right, then shut down the show. Nothing's worth anything, so we're not doing anything.
But
this
if
RadioU's over, and let's all just sit in the sun until we die.
If you want to do this, Tuesday, the last day of July, when our RadioU Christmas channel in July ends.
It's a Christmas in July closing party.
Chipotle is doing guacamole. It's National Guacamole Day, so you can get a free side of guac.
But there's an exception, Nikki.
All you have to do is order an entree online or through their app, and then you get the free guacamole.
So you cannot just show up and ask for it and get it free.
No.
You must just download the app or use their online ordering system, and you'll get free guac as long as you purchase an entree.
So you can't just walk in and get that. You have to go through the app.
That's correct.
That's what we call shady, guys. Shady.
I love how someone is giving us something and we're like,
it's not for free. There is a qualifier with that.
What you'll do is install the app, and when you get to app permissions, you'll notice that it wants everything from you.
You tell it no.
It wants to ping your location. It wants to look at your contacts. It wants to on and on and on and on and on. And you're like, okay, free guacamole. Hey, guac's expensive.
Well, the problem I have with Chipotle's app, and I'm not a fan of Chipotle, like I never really was, but we just don't go as often.
That's completely a fair representation. I feel like you had a brief fiery relationship with Chipotle.
When everybody did. But the problem with the app was that with our Chipotle locations, you'd be like, yeah, okay, where do you want to go for lunch? Well, I'd like to go to Chipotle. All right, let's go to the app and order our lunch. When we'd like to pick it up now, or they would suggest like 45 minutes from now when I didn't want to eat anymore.
Well, that's convenient.
So it's not as convenient if you're spur of the moment. It was just pre-planning would be okay.
Just plan on ordering 45 minutes before you get hungry.
And then I'll be good.
Hey, you're already doing it with pizza, right? Actually, that's not how it works for me. I wait till I'm starving, then I order pizza, and then I have a 45-minute wait. Right. So when the driver gets there, I'm like, what took so long?
I just need it. So Tuesday, July 31st, guacamole for National Guacamole Day. I get from Costco those little mini guacamole cups.
Yeah.
And I can dip things in it.
How does that compare to Chipotle guac?
Actually, just fine.
Don't say that to them. They do not want to hear it.
Sorry, guys. I'm with your created guacamole. Mine's good, too.
You know, in fairness, someone created your guacamole, too.
Oh, it was so long ago it doesn't count anymore.
It's like 5 years old. It's been in a freezer.
You put a little citrus on it, it won't brown anymore. It's fine.
Oh, I want yours.
The Riot believes in truth, justice, the American way, and high-speed internet. No, faster. RadioU.
So I'm looking at a study here that was done by, it was just published in the Journal of the American Medical Association Psychiatry edition. And I don't have the name of the university that did it. There were a couple of that teamed up together, but they did a study on depression, Fudan University in Shanghai, China, and Warwick University. There we go. And here's what they say that they have managed to do. Over the last few years in this study, they say they have managed to isolate the two regions of the brain that caused the biggest trouble with depression and sleep. So you're somebody who suffers with depression, and depression can really, really mess up your sleep cycle.
Yeah.
And I can absolutely testify to that, because it's either sometimes it's trouble going to sleep, or it's you wake up in the middle of the night.
But it's also, if you're having trouble sleeping, that can enhance emotions and lead to more depressed feelings. So they really works hand in hand.
So they say that there's a region of the brain that is responsible for short-term memory, and then a region of the brain that is responsible for how do they specifically say it? Well, it's basically these two that kind of feed each other.
Yeah.
And so it's like short-term memory and something to do with long-term memory, and basically they're almost firing back and forth at each other. And they say that is, sometimes with depression, they'll call it rumination, where you have negative thoughts and you keep having them and having them and having them, and they just go back and forth. And they say that they can show that it's literally these two parts of the brain that
connected.
Are just boom, 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 but they're bouncing
off each other
back and forth. That's
weird.
Amazing. And so one of the things they're looking at with this is like, hey, maybe with this, we can start to figure out some treatment for this particular thing.
Yeah.
I will tell you, if you're somebody that suffers with depression, I do, and it's something that's worth seeking treatment for. Now, I've done two things. I've got a relationship with God, and in that relationship with God, God has helped me a lot. But through prayer and talking to God, I actually have gone and gotten treatment for it. Like, I've gone to my doctor.
Which way God can help show you the right way to do that.
That's exactly right. Again, being completely transparent, because I think people need to hear this, and I want you guys to know about it, is just that one of the things through prayer that really, in praying about it, that I felt like God had talked to me about the fact that, one, I needed treatment, and two, he gave me the courage to go get it. Because I really didn't want to. In fact, I was more than not want to. Like, it was drag me screaming out of my house to get me to go do something about it. That's a metaphor. I wasn't
Not
really doing that.
screaming out the house.
But it was something I really, really didn't want to do. And so I did. And it has helped me a lot. Like, it hasn't fixed everything, but it's been very helpful. And so I just want to say, if you are somebody that is suffering in silence, depression there's more to it than just feeling bad. Like, there's more to it. And if it's something that's gone on for a long time, you might think it's normal, but here's the thing. You're just used to it. It's not normal. So you need to talk to somebody about it, even if it's just a friend. And if you don't have a friend to talk to God about it. That's what I did. A lot of time talking to God about it. If you don't have a relationship with him, start it, because he wants to help you. Say, Jesus, I want you in my life. I want you to fill me with your spirit. I need help. I think I'm depressed. What should I do? What can you help me? And man, God absolutely will. Whether it's in the moment or helping you find the right person to help you, whatever it is, I know that God wants to get involved where you are. You don't have to do this by yourself.
Thanks for listening to the Worst of the Riot podcast.
Oh no, I missed it. Do it again.
You can hear us live every day on the RadioU network through the RadioU app or at riot.radiou.com.
What took so long?